evening. The war of words between China and the United States is escalating further, whilst the rest of the global economy is caught in the crossfire. China is now accusing the Trump administration of economic terrorism, saying the White House has inflicted huge damage abroad and on the US itself. The newspaper of the ruling Communist Party has a menacing message saying, "Don't say we didn't warn you." President Trump says it's China, not the US, who's paying the price of the war.
China would love to make a deal with us. We had a deal, and they broke the deal. I think if they had it to do again, they wouldn't have done what they did. We're taking in billions of dollars in tariffs. China is subsidizing product. So the United States taxpayer is paying for very little of it. And if you look at inflation, and if you look at pricing, it's gone up very little. The tariffs are having a devastating effect on China. People are fleeing the country with their companies. These companies are leaving for Vietnam, other parts of Asia, and they're even coming to the United States because then there's no tariff.
That's the president's argument, and we've heard it before, which begs us the question, as we've discussed quite a few times on this programme, who really pays in this situation? Now, the trade data shows US importers are indeed turning away from China. And the president is right. They are going to Taiwan, Vietnam, South Korea, a whole host of other places. Yet Donald Trump is not correct that saying that only China is getting weakened. For instance, higher tariffs. Now, these higher tariffs will cost each US household $831 a year, according to a study by the Fed of New York. These are numbers, 831. You have to factor that, of course, that 831 vis-a-vis the tax cut, which, of course, was a year ago and is now sort of working its way through the economy. Simon Freakley is Chief Executive of the management consultancy Alex Partners. Good to see you.
Great to see you again, Richard. Hi.
OK. Who is being hurt most at the moment? And please, I know everybody's being hurt, right, but who's being hurt most?
Well, I think everybody is being hurt, and what we're seeing, I think, is a very old-fashioned negotiation here. The rhetoric's being ramped up. Both positions are hardening their stance. I personally believe we will end up in some sort of a resolution, but things may get hotter before that happens.
Right, but as between the US, I mean, the president's point, which he's just prosecuted today, is that China is really hurting and will be dragged towards a deal because of that. Do you believe that?
I think China is hurting, but I think the US is hurting too. As we just saw, it's going to cost the average household in 2020 $831 a year. There's only so long that the retailers, for instance, can absorb the additional costs either through the tariffs or through second sourcing. So the US consumer does hurt as well. And so I think it hurts both sides. And I think because it hurts both sides, that is why there will be a resolution.